Hello, my friends. Good to see you again. This is 7 English Bible School. Thanks for joining us. And once again, your presence means a lot to me. God bless you and keep you.
To demilitarize Ukraine, that Russia would bring in troops. He told Ukrainian troops to lay down arms and go home. More than 150,000 Russian troops had been surrounding Ukraine for days now, surrounding the borders in the north, the east, and the south.
We heard those explosions in Kiev. They know how to send a message. This is about undermining international cooperation. That is what Vladimir Putin has sought to do for years. And he's done that because he wants to divide his enemies in order that he can carry out his objectives. And this word genocide, he's used it time and time again. This is about appealing to his people, to say to them, this is not an offensive war, this is a defensive war. We are saving people in the Donbass. And he's warned off other foreign elements. He's saying to the rest of the world, don't come anywhere near us because we are in the process of saving the people of eastern Ukraine.
President Biden and the White House warning Americans to be prepared for economic strain.
Defending freedom will have cost for us as well and here at home. We need to be honest about that.
And I think, as you heard the president say last week, standing up for our values is not without cost. What we're trying to do is minimize that cost. So I don't have a prediction of it right now because we're trying to minimize the impact on the global energy markets.
Here's the neighborhood: Poland to the west, Belarus to the north, Russia to the east, and Ukraine is the focus right now. I'm going to show you a couple slides, Dana, so our viewers at home get a sense of this. This is what we believe based on 3 days ago, right? This is the 20th of February. Every white circle you see here is an existing military position, and every red circle you see is a new military presence, okay? Putin's got a lot of options here. What's he going to do? What's he going to pull? If you look at the possibility, if Belarus gives the Russian army the authority to cross its own border, which is a possibility, hasn't happened yet, or Putin could come in here from the northeast. There's a main road here that kind of cuts through on a map that has the ability, the pavement, the construction that would allow you to take big tanks and big trucks across Ukraine. Whether he does that or not, we don't know. Crimea is an option here down in the south, and also here in the southeast, these areas that Putin has declared independent as of 36 hours ago. So he's got a lot to do. He's got a lot of options on the table. Which one will he pull? We do not know.
Demilitarize. 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 To demilitarize Ukraine, Russia would bring in troops. To demilitarize Ukraine, Russia would bring in troops. Surround. Surround. Russian troops have been surrounding Ukraine for days. Russian troops have been surrounding Ukraine for days. Explosion. Explosion. We heard the explosions there. We heard the explosions there. Cooperation. Cooperation. This is about undermining international cooperation. This is about undermining international cooperation. Objective. Objective. In order that he can carry out his objectives. In order that he can carry out his objectives. Genocide. Genocide. This word genocide is used time and time again. This word genocide is used time and time again. Strain. Strain. He warned them to be prepared for economical strain. He warned them to be prepared for economical strain. Minimize. 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 What we are trying to do is minimize that cost. What we are trying to do is minimize that cost. All right, that's it. This is what the media says. Probably there are pros and cons, but now let's check out some comments. When he had finished praying, Jesus left with his disciples and crossed the Kidron Valley. On the other side, there was an olive grove, and he and his disciples went into it. Now Judas, who betrayed him, knew the place, because Jesus had often met there with his disciples. So Judas came to the grove, guiding a detachment of soldiers and some officials from the chief priests and Pharisees. They were carrying torches, lanterns, and weapons. Jesus, knowing all that was going to happen to him, went out and asked them, "Who did you want?" "Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "I am he," Jesus said. And Judas the traitor was standing there with them. When Jesus said, "I am he," they drew back and fell to the ground. Again he asked them, "Who is it you want?" And they said, "Jesus of Nazareth." "I told you that I am he," and Jesus answered. "If you are looking for me, then let these men go." This happened so that the words he had spoken would be fulfilled. "I have not lost one of those you gave me." Then Simon Peter, who had the sword, drew it and struck the high priest's servant, cutting off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. Jesus commanded Peter, "Put your sword away. Shall I not drink the cup the Father has given me?" Then the detachment of soldiers, with its commander and the Jewish officials, arrested Jesus. They bound him and brought him first to Annas, who was the father-in-law of Caiaphas, the high priest that year. Caiaphas was the one who had advised the Jews that it would be good if one man died for the people. Simon Peter and another disciple were following Jesus. Because this disciple was known to the high priest, he went with Jesus into the high priest's courtyard. But Peter had to wait outside at the door. The other disciple was known to the high priest, came back, spoke to the guard on duty there, and brought Peter in. "You are not one of his disciples, are you?" the guard at the door asked Peter. He replied, "I am not." It was cold, so the servants and officials stood around a fire they had made to keep warm. Peter also was standing with them, warming himself. Meanwhile, the high priest questioned Jesus about his disciples and his teaching. "I have spoken openly to the word," Jesus replied. "I always taught in synagogues or at the temple, where all the Jews come together. I said nothing in secret. Why question me? Ask those who heard me. Surely they know what I said." Then when Jesus said this, one of the officials nearby struck him in the face. "Is this the way you answer the high priest?" he demanded. "If I said something wrong," Jesus replied, "testify as to what is wrong. But if I spoke the truth, why did you try me?" Then Annas sent him still bound to Caiaphas, the high priest. As Simon Peter stood warming himself, he was asked, "You are not one of his disciples, are you?" He denied, saying, "I'm not." One of the high priest's servants, a relative of the man whose ear Peter had cut off, challenged him, "Didn't I see you with him in the olive grove?" Again Peter denied it, and at that moment a rooster began to crow. But the Jews led Jesus from Caiaphas to the palace of the Roman governor. By now it was early morning, and to avoid ceremonial uncleanness, the Jews did not enter the palace. They wanted to be able to eat the Passover. So Pilate came out to them and asked, "What charges are you bringing against this man?" "If you were not a criminal," they replied, "we would not have handed him over to you." Pilate said, "Take him yourselves and judge him by your own law." "But we have no right to execute anyone," the Jews objected.